Now, if it's trending across Africa, you better believe that we will be talking about it here on Breakfast Central. Now, another thing that's trending for us here on Breakfast Central is the fact that in less than 24 hours, Liz Elizabeth Musa will be turning a year older. So happy birthday, Liz.
Thank you. Thank you.
Probably didn't see this coming. How do you feel about your birthday being tomorrow?
Oh, I always have this anxiety before my birthday, but this time around, I'm just trying to take it really easy. Like, it's just a birthday. It's just you turning a year older. It will come and it will go.
Liz, I'd like to get you a gift for your birthday, but you need to answer this riddle first.
Okay.
Okay.
Quick riddle. What tastes better than it smells?
What is that, Osarogie?
Tastes better
Than it smells.
I don't think you want me to say this.
No, why? Why shouldn't you say it? Go ahead.
I think we can
This
all
is
have...
your quick riddle for your birthday present.
I think we can all have different answers.
I think you don't want to give me any birthday present.
No, I actually do. I actually do. If you get it, I'll get you one.
Can I tell you my own answer?
Please tell.
My own answer is what Nigerians, Yoruba people call Iru, Igbo people call Ogiri, and generally referred to as locust beans. It tastes nicer, but it smells really horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very correct. But Osa, what did you have in mind?
The tongue.
That's so underwhelming.
Very underwhelming. Okay, enough of the riddles. Let's find out what's trending in the entertainment space around Africa. Over to you, Liz.
Well, so today on Trend Wave, we will begin in Nigeria, where the General Overseer of the Redeemed Christian Church of God, Pastor Enoch Adeboye, has now denied reports making the rounds that he asked Christians to buy guns for self-protection. He made this known during the church's monthly Thanksgiving service just 2 days ago, where he came to debunk reports that he said it was now fire for any attack on Christians. According to Pastor Adeboye, it's time for Christians to rise to the occasion. But they don't need to buy guns. They just need to make sure that unwanted visitors don't come to their churches. Let's watch this.
Ask Christians to go and buy guns. You didn't hear that from me. You don't need guns. Samson never bought AK-47. He fought with the jawbone of an ass. So don't go and buy guns. And in any case, they won't give you permission. But you don't need permission to buy the jawbone of a cow.
Basically, what Pastor Adeboye is saying is that you do not necessarily need to buy guns, but you need to arm yourself. And you can arm yourself with the jawbone of an ass. He went on to urge members of the church not to be afraid to attend church programs because of the terrorist attack which occurred in the church in Ondo State. Let's recall that barely a few weeks ago, on the 5th of June, over 40 worshippers were killed and many were injured when terrorists attacked St. Francis Catholic Church Owo in Ondo State, a Sunday which has now been referred to as the Black Sunday. Let's see how people are reacting to this before I get to you, Osa and Olive. Now, that one is from Emmanuel. Emmanuel says, don't still go and quote Pastor Adeboye wrongly. Daddy Gio never said Christians should buy guns. Do not acquire firearms that negate the country's laws, but do not be shy to engage in self-defense in permissible ways. That's exactly what the pastor is trying to say. Let's see. Now, that picture right there is the jawbone of an ass. Now, this one is from the Dean of Violence. It says, defend yourself with what Samson used to defend himself, according to Pastor Adeboye. Who else noticed that this cow jawbone will hit harder than a gun if you use it to hit others when defending yourself? Now, that guy is truly the Dean of Violence. Let's see more reactions on this one on social media. That one's from Victoria. Victoria says, this is what Samson used to defeat his enemies. Don't buy guns, but you can buy the jawbone of a cow. Pastor Adeboye comes through with his words of wisdom. That one is from Victoria. More reactions on this one on social media. That one's from Kelechi. Kelechi says, Pastor Adeboye should just told us not to buy guns, but jawbones of cows. The eye is dark. We must defend ourselves. So the impression, the comment, the remarks are general. People are saying the same things. Apparently, we need to arm ourselves. That's what they're saying. So we don't necessarily need to buy guns. He has clarified it 2 days ago, but we will buy jawbones of cows. Perhaps that's the best way to, protect yourself these days. Now, that is what is making the top trends in Nigeria. But meanwhile, in South Africa, there's so much more trending. South Africans are, protesting online. They're protesting about, championing for a national shutdown. This follows the recent increase in fuel price in the country, although many people are hoping that this isn't yet another keypad process that begins and ends on Twitter. In general, the mood in South Africa is unsatisfactory. Aside from the fuel price hike, the people aren't pleased about the state of the nation. And I think this mirrors the current situation of other African countries. Only a few days ago, Nigerians were facing long queues in different parts of the state as a result of fuel scarcity. And a few weeks ago, Ghanaians also were championing for a national shutdown, protesting the high cost of living. Just yesterday, Ghanaians teachers also declared a strike. People won't stop protesting until things take a more positive turn. But let's see how South Africans are reacting to this particular trend on social media. That one is from Solani. Hashtag national shutdown. South Africans planning another shutdown that will only end up on Twitter. We are nothing like the class of 1976. Shame. Of course, that person right there believes that they're just going to start this protest on social media and end it there. But hopefully it doesn't end there. That one says, if the EFF is not one of the organizers of the hashtag national shutdown, we all know it's only happening on Twitter. That's how people are reacting to this particular hashtag on social media. More reactions on this before I move on. Now from Siabonga. Siabonga says, taxi industry distance themselves with shutdown. I wonder who they're going to transport when many South Africans lose their jobs. A shutdown should not result to looting, but we cannot be living like this, really. Look at the price of petrol. Hashtag national shutdown. More reactions on this one on social media. That one's from Sakwanda. It says, the thing about hashtag national shutdown is that people don't actually want to be on the street. They want the likes of Santaco and other organizations to rally up while they tweet in solidarity from bed. That sounds familiar, doesn't it? People definitely they don't have hope in this. Now, this one from Chasing Peace. Chasing Peace says, we're so lenient to still allow this guy to pretend to be our president. It's sickening. Now, that's a picture of President Cyril Ramaphosa. And of course, wow, that's a bit, that's a serious remark right there from Chasing Peace. And that's all we can take on the remarks that people are making on social media. But the hashtag currently in South Africa is national shutdown. South African social media users definitely want to protest, but I hope they don't end on social media. That's it, Osa and Olive. I want to hear your thoughts on this.
The first time that we've seen them talk about a potential shutdown, they were meant to have one approximately 1 month ago, I think 10th of June. They were meant to have a shutdown that never really, took place in some way. Never really. I mean, at the end of the day, it's painful to see that we have the same underlying problems. We're talking about fuel scarcity. We're talking about insecurity. There's several problems that are plaguing all of us, and we're facing it here in Nigeria. I mean, by the time this show is over, Nostalgia and I are going to queue for fuel because we don't have fuel in our cars. Oh. So it's still the same problems that we're facing all around the continent.
Right.
And people are tired. When you push people to the wall, eventually they will push back.
Yeah, and the narrative that, it's the inflation, and, oil prices are high across the world and all that doesn't work, a lot of times in Africa, because Africans can also see that their governments have failed them. And, and if things were done better over time, they wouldn't necessarily have to be dealing with this. Nigeria has no business with dealing with fuel scarcity if we had our refineries working. Pretty much the same thing with other African countries. And so that excuse that, Russia invaded Ukraine, so fuel prices are high in Ghana makes absolutely no sense, if we're being honest with ourselves. But I also want to, speak about Pastor Adeboye, all due respect to him. I'm sure bandits would be scared when they approach with AK-47s and you bring out your jawbone and you chase them away with your jawbones. I'm not sure exactly, I'm thinking he tried to deflect, move, trickishly away from a statement that he seemingly or allegedly made, and then
inside violence.
I don't think he got it right with, his narrative eventually, because are you saying people should defend themselves or not? And we're talking about bandits that are wielding automatic rifles. What do you mean by they should, defend themselves with the jawbone of an ass?
I think at the end of the day, what this basically underlies or highlights is the fact that people are tired. And the Christian folk are starting to sense that this is looking more like targeted attacks on their faith, because, they have been people who quote that the Bible says that Jesus says if you were hurt, if you were slapped on one cheek, you should turn the second cheek. But then the leaders are saying that Jesus did not tell you if you are slapped a second time, you should turn your cheek a third time to them. So these are the conversations that are starting to occur. We're seeing clergy, members of clergy being kidnapped. We're seeing people attacked in churches, being killed. The Owo massacre wasn't the first and has so far not been the last. So what should people do in this regard?
And then it seems like a pattern. It seems like a sort of pattern. And that's why I think what Pastor Adeboye was saying, what I got from that is that you can defend yourself, but defend yourself in any way that is permissible by the law.
Well, unfortunately, we're still dealing with persons who are wielding AK-47 and other types of automatic rifles. And so, it's either, and this is not encouraging anyone to get a, rifle. I feel what the church is still failing to do, I understand, that they, want to play it safe here and there, but they're still failing to actually call out government for its failure, because that's really the reason behind all of this.
I don't disagree, though. A lot of churches have called out the government and saying to the government that we need the government to respond to all that's happening. But of course, calling out does so much. You can call them out from today till tomorrow. We've realized that in most governments, they lack the word called shame. So you call them out and you keep calling them out and nothing is really being done. So really what we're just hoping for is that the time comes when people will feel safe enough to practice their religion, feel safe enough
Absolutely.
to be Nigerian. And, I mean, Pastor Adeboye said what he said. Everyone will make of it what they will.
Exactly.
All right, thanks a lot, Liz. And happy birthday.
Thank you.
Happy
and
birthday.
You look amazing in red. I see you guys are matching. I didn't get that memo.
Sorry.
Nobody did.
It's what they say
apparently.
about great minds. The rest of you, catch yourselves.
Excuse me.